Hi. So I'm going to be talking about the dangers of mindfulness meditation today and some strategies for mitigating them. So I recently read some articles about uh, some of the issues that people have, and maybe I'll even link to them down below. Um, and the number one mitigation strategy is really to follow all three of the three jewels instead of one. And basically it's a modern problem in that now it's much easier to access the Dharma than it was at any previous point in history. And so often people skip the Buddha and the Sangha. And by Buddha, really what that means is a teacher, having some kind of teacher, uh, ideally one that you could talk to, and ideally someone that practices compassion meditation, someone that is compassionate, obviously. Um, and in terms of Sangha, that means kind of your meditation community. And by Dharma, I mean teachings. So there's a lot of teachings available on the internet, um, and they don't necessarily go over everything. And it's very hard to read everything. And so that's why it's good to have a teacher and a meditation community, a meditation group that you sit with on a weekly basis, uh, or at least a monthly basis. Some, and most likely you can find such a meditation group simply by searching, you know, meditation group in my area, whatever your area is, Owen Sound or whatever it is. Anyways, so back to the issues. There's three major issues. In the articles, it mostly talked about disassociation, and there was another one. Well, I did, yeah. Mostly they were talking about disassociation, but there are two other problems that you might run into that weren't really addressed in these, because they're not as easy to kind of ascribe to mindfulness meditation specifically, and that's tunnel vision and angry outbursts. So, and these are all issues that can arise if you do mindfulness meditation exclusively without doing, say, compassion meditation or subconscious meditation or present moment appreciation meditation or any of the other plethora of other meditations. It's just kind of like if the only food you eat is tomatoes, eventually you're going to turn red. Or if you only eat carrots, you're going to turn orange. It's like there's going to be side effects. You need to have a complete meditation diet, a balanced meditation diet. Otherwise, these kinds of problems arise. And so the one that they were talking about was disassociation. And the reason this happens is because in mindfulness meditation, you are practicing being the observer. You're just kind of like looking at a point, or you're observing your breath, and so you're just observing the emotions as they happen. And so your brain gets really good at this if you just like continue practicing it. And then eventually you're just observing life go by, and then it's like things arise, people have emotions, and then you just kind of disassociate from everything that's going on, and you're just like, inside, but not really, because like you see yourself going like, "Ah," but you're like, you've got no emotions because you're just observing yourself. I'm like, oh, that's very curious. uh Anyways, so that's disassociation, and it does happen to some people. Like even if you're just doing half an hour of meditation a day, after a few months, you could certainly have some of these symptoms. And so the there's kind of several layers of disassociation here. There's disassociation from your body. There's disassociation from your experience. There's disassociation from your family and friends and relatives. And so I'm going to talk about the first two, from your body and from your environment. The easiest way to mitigate that is to practice present moment appreciation meditation. So now that's not an alpha wave meditation like mindfulness. It is a beta wave meditation. So instead of your eyes closed or half closed, your eyes are open. Your eyes are open, and you're looking at this beautiful scenery, you know, and you're just thinking to yourself about how beautiful everything is. It's great to practice present moment meditation outside, just to at least to get started, especially if you find like a mountaintop or a hillside somewhere there's lots of things to see. That Or you can just even remember having that experience, and then remembering that experience, you can cultivate that in the present moment. And so then it's like, even like this over here, it's like, oh yeah, that feels great. Oh, and I love this. Oh, look how textured this is. Over here, it's like it's all ripped, and that's amazing. It's just so beautiful in its own perfect way. It looks like someone took a bite out of it. Maybe it was my son or something. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Kids do stuff. Or you know what? It was probably uh got torn in some other way. Anyways, and it's just appreciating absolutely everything that there is to appreciate in life. Like the soft texture of this, and you just really feel it, like you're really in the moment and you're really experiencing it, or you can like touch your face, oh my gosh, like that's some serious sensation right there, and then that way you're getting really into the now, getting really into it, and that helps you reconnect with your body and with your environment. And then, so in order to reconnect with your family and your, spouse, your kids, your friends, your community, the best thing for that is compassion meditation. Compassion meditation is, well, I'll just give you a brief overcap. There's huge amounts of information on loving kindness meditation. Uh, so basically, I explained it to my 5-year-old. So if you want me to explain it to you like you're five, like that Reddit thing, you can just imagine a green ball where your heart is, you know? And then you just imagine the energy coming in from space and from the earth, and just helping this green ball grow. And it's a compassionate feeling of loving and helping, and then you can just send that energy out first to yourself, to heal yourself and your body, and then you can send that energy out to someone that you love, someone that's close to you, and then you send that energy out to someone that's neutral, like someone that's just walking across the street, like, you know, and then you can send that energy out to someone that you have complicated feelings with. Uh, like someone, sometimes people have enemies and things like this, or just someone that you have complicated, relationship with. So you just send them the love, and then if you want to get a little more detailed, then you're gonna do it in at least 4 or 5 stages. So you're gonna do some blessings. So you start with like, may I be safe, and then you imagine yourself being safe. May I be healthy. And then you imagine yourself being healthy. And actually, there's a different way of doing this, which may be more effective, and it's actually, I am safe. And then you imagine the ways in which you are safe, and then you send gratitude. You experience gratitude about this. And then you imagine the ways that you are healthy. and you experience gratitude for those. And then you imagine the ways that you are wealthy, and you experience gratitude for the ways you're healthy and then wealthy. And then you imagine the ways that you belong to the community or that you are involved in the community, and then you feel gratitude for the ways that you're involved in the community, you know, and the ways that you could be involved, like you can always expand on these. So you can always do these in two steps, the ways that you have it now and the ways that it can be as well, you know. And then, but it's good to start with gratitude with the now, and then you can expand as time goes on. And then there's at least one more, and that's experiencing how you have liberty and experiencing liberty, uh, having the gratitude for it. And then you do that for everybody. So my loved one is safe. My loved one is healthy. My loved one is wealthy. My loved one is belonging, has a community. And my loved one has freedom, you know. And then you experience that for your loved one, and you can experience that for all of your loved ones. And then you do that for the neutral third party. So it can be your neighbor or someone that you don't really have feelings with any way. Some a cashier or anybody really. And then someone complicated, like maybe a politician that you don't like, or that you didn't like at some point. Because after you do enough compassion meditation, then you will understand. You will have blessed them, and you will kind of that little bit of whatever was in your heart just kind of dissipates. And I mean the darkness, it dissipates, and then you just have light. You just have that green glowing light. You can just send it out to everyone. Anyway, so that's compassion meditation. So now there's two more issues that arise, and one of them is tunnel vision. And so tunnel vision is something that arises just whenever you go into alpha wave brainwaves. And how that happens is that your brain is slowing down because it's in alpha brainwaves. You're just focusing on a point, you know. And if you're doing that during meditation, that's fine. That's what that's where you're going for. But if you practice it a lot and you don't do any of the other kinds of meditations like the gamma or the beta, then your brain will more easily fall into the alpha wave rhythm. And so then you might find yourself, having tunnel vision while you're driving your car or, operating heavy machinery. You definitely do not want that. You do not want that. And so what you do want is you want to have at least beta waves or maybe even gamma waves while you're, doing things that need your attention. And so while driving, you can do present moment awareness, but not like, awareness like of everything, just like, the road and being safe, and like being aware of all the vehicles, checking all of your mirrors, that kind of stuff, seeing what's in front of you, knowing your route, being safe, beta wave, and you can practice that. That is a meditation, just being safe driver. And then like you don't need to have any other thoughts, just safe driving to your destination at a safe speed, you know, and someone cuts you off, you can do a little bit of compassion meditation. That's fine, just to help yourself heal and let go and help them, as well. Um, but otherwise, just beta, because compassion is gamma, so it's even higher. So you can do beta or gamma, and then, but you don't want to go lower. You don't want to do the calming down breathing while driving. And next up, we have anger. So angry outbursts. So Why does this happen? Uh, Meditation's supposed to calm you down, right? And then often people blame themselves. They're like, "Oh, I wasn't meditating enough," even though they're meditating like several hours a day, and stuff like that. But what happens with the mindfulness meditation is you're always bringing back your attention to the focus, always bringing it back, and this is a wonderful exercise. But if you do it to excess, there's always a problem. And so what it does is it trains your third your chakra, your solar plexus, and it's known as your yellow chakra. Um, well, that's how I visualize it. Anyways, a lot of people do. And what is responsible for making choices? Now, if you have the scientific mindset, you can think of it as in the brain or whatever, but this is the explanation that works for me, and maybe it'll work for some other people too. And so it's a great practice to do the awareness meditation, especially if you were earlier having problems with your energy bottling up lower, like in your second chakra, which is about desires, your genital chakra. Either sexual or food or whatever, and then you're just overwhelmed with your desires and emotions and everything, and so you started doing the meditation, and then that kind of like smoothed out because you were drawing up the energies and like helping them flow upwards. But if you're only doing the mindfulness, then they get bottled up in your solar plexus chakra, and so then it's just like really tight, and there's just so much in there, and then sometimes it just like bursts out, and it's like, you're so angry. And yeah, and then it's gone, and then it's like, whoa, guys, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But it's still unhealthy. And so what you can do is you can channel that up to the heart. So by doing compassion meditation, and that lets the energy kind of not be bottled up in the solar plexus anymore, but it can flow up into your heart. And then of course you can do further meditations, and because you ideally want to have like full connectivity between your root chakra and your crown chakra. So there's also the wisdom meditations and the psychic meditations, that you also want to explore, not just the heart one. But at this time in our planet, the earth needs a lot of heart, and that's why I have a green robe for the heart. Anyway, so that's how you can overcome the anger as well. Um, I hope that helped. And remember the three jewels: the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. The teacher, the teachings, and the community. So you want to integrate all three of those in your practice. Okay, if you just have, the middle finger, which is just the teachings, it you can go astray, and you can fall into a pit, and you can have problems. That's why you want to have support people, like someone that knows what they're doing, someone that's compassionate as a teacher. Ideally, it's not always possible to find someone, but you definitely want to have a group, and like almost anywhere you can have a group. And even if you live in like a super remote area, you can find an online group. You can get help. Okay. And remember, different kinds. Keep a varied diet of meditations. And of course, keep your body healthy too. All right. So that concludes this section. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Feel free to comment. I'll reply to you as soon as I can. All right. Love you.